Gist with Jolly. Bringing you hot and direct gist. From the Nollywood, subscribe and turn notification bell.
This movie is true definition of don't judge a book by its cover. Two Wives streaming on Nolly Family TV. When I watch this movie, this is practically everything that happens in reality. You know, Sonia Uche, I think she selects movies that she acts on, because ever since I started following Sonia Uche, she doesn't just feature in anyhow movie. It got me thinking that this young lady actually selects movies that she features in, because it has I've really sat down to think about it, that most of these movies that I see her act since I started following her, I've not seen reason to regret, because at the end of every movie I take home lesson, and those lessons I practicalize them in real life, and most of them helps me even in marriage and many other things. So I am not ashamed that I follow her and I learn a lot from her movies. I am not ashamed to say that. Two Wives is a movie that represents real life situations where people pretend to be what they are not in order to achieve their aim. Once they achieve their aim, their true colors springs up like magic. Chizi Alichi, Sonia Uche, Bryan pulled this very one. And then, you see, Sonia Uche, do you know that the beginning of this movie actually gave Chizi Alizi a glimpse of who Sonia Uche was, but she failed to pay attention. She failed to heed the attention of the move of who she practically was. The movie started by them going out on the streets to preach. Chizi and Sonia Uche. Chizi was a very big born-again Christian who is not ashamed to say it anywhere she goes. She is the sister to Bryan. She looks after Bryan's welfare in and out, because their father is no more in existence. The mother too have died. So they happens to be the only siblings. Bryan and Chizi, they are the only brother and sister looking out for each other. And Chizi happens to be a real born-again Christian who is always looking out for the brother and wants the best for him. So for her, she doesn't believe in worldly things, including worldly wife for his brother. So anything that has to do with worldliness is not in for Chizi. She makes sure that such a thing is not reckoned with around her side, let alone coming close to the brother. The brother had a girlfriend, Precious, and then had a girlfriend that he wants to settle with, but the woman happens to like dress like, you know, conventional woman, like normal woman would dress, city girls would dress, with tattoo, with hair, with both. Sometimes she wears, you know, showcases most of her cleavages, shows and everything. She judged the book exactly the way she saw it, without even staying an inch with the woman. And this brother's girlfriend happens to be a very good and loyal person. The only problem this woman has is her dressing. And you know, as a Christian, most times in the world, the way you view a Christian, the first way to view a real Christian is by sporting the way they dress. Once you spot that this person is wearing this not wearing makeup, no earring, no trousers, no anything, covers the head, you will just depict from a distance that no, this person is a Christian, before you can actually think about, you know, saying any other thing with the person. So it happens that she said no to this girlfriend of the brother. Now my brother practically cannot settle with this Jezebel. She calls her Jezebel. There is no name Chizi Alizi did not call the brother's wife. It's got to a point that she had to buy wares for her brother wife to wear. I mean, soon to be wife. That's the only way she could be comfortable. And for the lady to be like, okay, let me succumb to all your yelling, all your demands. She has to wear all the clothes, Miriam Maka, tie her tie, and the rest of that. But in reality, the lady was like, I'm only because I want to settle with your brother. I love him. And then I'll have to put up with all these dramas just to please your husband, just to please my man. Even after the brother talked to the sister that like, hey, this lady is nothing wrong with her. She's just dressing. I mean, there's nothing wrong with the way she is. Her character is okay. Okay, somebody that came and welcomed you and even offered to cook for you. Isn't that an example of a good wife? A good wife material. But she condemned based on the dressing and everything. She condemned even her name, Sweet, that her name's supposed not to be Sweet, but Elizabeth. So what am I even saying? That this whole thing happens in real life. People tend to pretend to be what they are not until they achieve that thing they are seeking for. Then you see their true color, and that is what Sonia Uche did in this movie. What am I even seeing? Sonia Uche happened to have reckoned with Cheesy, knowing that she is this churchy type, and I know from the movie, though the movie didn't showcase it, but I thought I was examining, you know, say as a reviewer, as somebody who always reviews movie, you must always check in and out of every movie. So I have already reckoned that Sonia Uche must have studied Cheesy and the brother, or maybe she met her in the church, because Sonia Uche just had children and abandoned the children and the husband and went to city of Lagos to hustle, according to her, towards the ending of the movie. So while in the city, in order to get shelter, in order to get a place where she could lay her head, she has to like reckon with someone in the church, and then they welcomed her and she pretended to be a born-again Christian. And you know, once you come and identify yourself as a Christian personality, you're welcome into the community, and then you're being given any assistance you want. And Sonia Uche happens to be a worldly person, smokes, drinks, does all manner of things. In fact, from the beginning of the movie, somebody came while they were preaching on the streets, telling Sonia Uche to give him all the money that she had collected from him, that they both slept in the hotel, that she ran away with with his money. And Sonia Uche blatantly refused, knowing the man, and said that she's not even an Igbo from the east, but rather she claimed to be an Hausa person. That was to show you the level of lies she was making to cover up the fact that she is not the person that Cheesy thinks of. The word happened. At the end of the day, this science happened from the beginning, and Cheesy, who thinks she was spiritual, couldn't spot it, and she overshowed herself. Like, the spirituality of Cheesy in this movie was like, it was overwhelming in the sense that it's overboard. She overdid it, that she couldn't even depict which one was the true spirit and which one was the evil spirit. She was always binding anything around her. She doesn't take time to like listen to God that she serves. She was always making assumptions based on what she sees, rather than paying attention to the inner self or inner personalities of people. So that is where Christians are. But you spot somebody dresses this way, then you reckon with, but you don't know what the person actually does. Those people's character is what you should pay attention to. And no, but Sonia Uche pretended so well that it was very difficult for Cheesy. Cheesy saw many signs. She saw many signs in this movie. She even came to Sonia Uche one day and saw that her room was smelling cigarettes, and she was like, Sonia Uche of course lied. She's full of lies, pretense, and all manner of things in this movie. And this is what human beings are. This story is so true, because I was trying to, like, you know, in every of my review, I always have stories to back it up. Especially when you want to get married to young lady, and when they know that they are the type that likes Christian people, they will pretend to be Christians. They will pretend to be in the church, just to, hey brother, how are you? They will do just for they will be humble. They will come into the church because that's the way they know that they will settle for. They come to the church, all this young lady, when they know that their act of age getting they're already drawing, they are already phasing out. Will I say phasing out? Let me not even use the word phasing out. They're already okay. They will start reckoning themselves with all these church people and them pretending to be what they are really not. And when they finally settles with these brothers, they will showcase themselves that, hey, this is true me. And that's what Sonia Uche did in this movie. No sooner than Bryan married Sonia Uche, her change, her churchy girl, her good girl, her praying, bashing and everything changed. Bryan was so shocked that he even discovered that she drinks alcohol. Her true color changed. She didn't pretend. Immediately, Bryan married her. She started treating Cheesy Lizzie. And I really loved that aspect of her treating Cheesy Lizzie, because at the end of the day, you are kind of being or judging people, condemning people. She really got what she, but on the other hand, I really felt for her because she only wanted the best for her brother, but she didn't pay attention in doing real investigation. Somebody gave you a clue from the beginning saying, hey, I know this lady, she took my money, we slept together in the hotel, and you didn't pay attention by investigating. She was so carried away by this spirituality of a Christian heavenly race. So it's not supposed to be so. Even the Bible that we are reading says that test every spirit. So it's not everybody that a devil prays, speaks in tongues, devil practically lives in the church. So you don't just have to it's on until because you saw these pastors carrying Bible before you know that they're good pastors. Before you saw these sisters tying hair tie to their eyes, before you know that their ears they're true but again. You need to dig deep through prayer, waiting on God, hear from God and the rest of it. So I love the movie. It's an excellent one. I gave the movie a huge one. Applause, honestly. You understand? So Cheesy Lizzie ended up breaking her brother's relationship with the first girl, married Sonia Uche for him, telling him she's the spiritual person that will help him to build his life, to take him to heaven. And at the end of the day, Sonia Uche happens to be direct opposite to what the sister thought she was. So it's a very good lesson to people out there, especially to young men, because a lot happen, not even to the young men, even ladies, to men to pretend as well. So before you settle for anybody, live those pretentious life. Try to dig deep. So what actually made Sonia Cheesy wouldn't have made that but she was only concerned about spirituality. She wouldn't have made that costly mistake because the clue was there right from the beginning of the movie. The clue was there. They came and told her in front of her face. It happened that, hey, this lady, you should have thought, you should have asked question, you should have investigated. Where is this lady coming from? You understand? Dig very well. You don't just say because everybody is in the church there, therefore everybody is a saint. No, you don't know what people are doing there. Even armed robbers comes to church, and after the church they go and rob. So that's it. Everything happens in the church. So this is a true life story. It happens. Honestly speaking, it happens in reality. And I give this movie 89%. 89%. Any constructive criticism, I think the camera of the movie is not on a high degree, because when you watch other movies, you will see the difference in the clarity of this movie. So please, producers, you have to take notes, the clarity of the movie, and then what actually made Cheesy Lizzie, when Cheesy Lizzie was not even in good terms with the brother's first girlfriend, how did she know the house at the end of the day? Because towards the ending of the movie, she went to visit her, telling her to forgive her for all that she did to her, that the brother was actually right about her, so she should forgive and go and meet the brother who is miserable because of her. After discovering that Sonia Uche was not who she was, he sent her packing, and also sent Cheesy packing, because she has ruined everything that he has ever worked, his happiness and everything, the name of praying God, whatever, the best wife. So how did Cheesy How did you know? How did you know your brother's girl when both of you were never in good terms? So the movie should at least have told us that, hey, I had her number, or probably that I took the number of my girlfriends to the house. How did you know? You understand? Well, the movie didn't tell us how he knew, because I was like surprised that, hey, how did you find yourself here? Or probably maybe at least they should have given us a clue that yes, I knew. Cast and crew, very good, well done job. I really love the movie because it displayed a real life situations that happens every day. The princess on Sonia was on a high level, and she did excellent job in those displays. She really hid every traces that would have made them cut her that she was not who she was until the end. Anyways, my people, I don't know if you have seen this movie, still streaming on Nolly Family TV. Go and support Sonia Uche on that. Alright, my people, if you have any review of this movie, let's hear it on the comment section. Till I come again, I'm Nolly the Red.